Edgar Cayce, an absolutely incredible man, known worldwide as a healer and a prophet. He was born into a poor farming family in Kentucky. He had only 8 years of schooling and never got a full education. He lived a simple working-class life. At 21, he got sick and completely lost his voice. And here comes the first strange thing. A hypnotist named Al Lane helped him get his voice back. Can you imagine such a chain of coincidences? Just a few years before the new century, a young village man became disabled. What future did he have? What do you think he dreamed of? Becoming a successful camera salesman or working at a steam-powered sawmill? The age of electricity was coming, but here was a young man who couldn't even speak properly. But during a hypnosis session, he somehow diagnosed his own illness, even though he had no medical knowledge. And soon started talking again. Hypnotist Lane decided to experiment and used Cayce in trance to diagnose other people. At that time, hypnosis was seen as something mystical, almost magical. People believed in it. At first, they helped local people for free, sometimes just for food. While in trance, Cayce read hidden texts and described diseases he had never studied. Everything had to be written down, because once awake, he couldn't remember what he said. He didn't even know medical terms. And this is how the legend of the sleeping healer from Kentucky was born. Sounds impossible, right? But fooling everyone for decades? That's much harder. At first, no one believed him, not even his wife, who later became his greatest supporter. But over time, Cayce and Lane attracted more and more people. Patients came from all over the country. His diagnosis and treatments worked. He didn't just name diseases, he gave clear steps to cure them. Cayce's fame grew. Soon, he and Lane switched to a remote diagnosis system. People sent letters, and just from a name and a mailing address, Cayce could diagnose their illness. Of course, there were skeptics. Several times there were public campaigns against him, calling him a fraud. In 1910, he was even arrested for practicing medicine without a license. But in the end, something amazing happened. The American Medical Association officially allowed him to continue giving psychic consultations. For over 40 years, he helped people without any medical diploma. No wonder he had powerful friends who defended him, because he had cured them when traditional medicine failed. Some of them were Thomas Edison, General John Pershing, and even some say the Rockefellers and Morgans. And this is only one part of his life. Because in trance, Cayce spoke about much more than just health. His predictions started coming true. Yes, he was also a prophet. He predicted the 1929 stock market crash 4 years before it happened. He saw both world wars coming years in advance. Even more shocking, he named the date of the crucial World War II battle at Kursk. He correctly predicted Germany's surrender in May 1945. Cayce also predicted India's independence, the assassination of John F. Kennedy, China's rise to global power, and many other events. So here you have it. A village boy, a sick man who lost his voice, yet he became a healer and a prophet, helping thousands. He left behind 23,000 recorded medical readings. And what have we, people of the modern world, done with his predictions? Nothing. A great man with whom you can no longer argue, right? And do you know that during the war, in 1944, he literally worked himself to the point of exhaustion. Instead of the usual 1 or 2 sessions of hypnotic readings, Cayce conducted 6, 8. Didn't the healer understand how this would end? He did, but the whole country needed his help. People needed him, and he worked like a farmer on a damned rocky field. Yes, he foresaw his death, and guessed it just like many other things. He died in 1945, shortly before the end of the war. Yet Cayce spoke of great disasters that would affect the entire planet. The entire planet. Look around, listen to the news. How often do you hear the phrase, the highest level in 100 years, or the worst on record? That is what's coming. Extreme weather, floods, droughts, mass migrations. And here's something interesting. Cayce predicted that Russia would suffer less than other countries during these global crises, and that its role in the world would grow. But here's the strangest part. Cayce saw decades into the future. Many of his prophecies came true. And in the last years of his life, he made even more predictions, ones that haven't happened yet. Are you sure you want to know what they are? Edgar Cayce, 1877 to 1945. The Prophet of Great Disasters.